Hello, teacher and classmates. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Today, I am here to record about my professional practice. So, I'm going to be recording a video about a class that it's focused on that topic of litter, pollution, trash, all types of pollution. So, we're going to do the unit 3 today, named What is Litter? My name is Gabriel, or Abril Mena Calderon. And let's start with the class. First of all, I'm gonna call the list. So I'm gonna call your names and you're just gonna raise your hand and say present. So first of all, Aaron Yeager. Okay, you're there. Peter Parker, you're there. Okay. Daenerys Targaryen, right there. Hi. Next is Alexander Hamilton. Where is he? Right there. Then we have John Lawrence next to Alexander. And Sasha Blues, right there. Okay, so I think all of you are here in the class. That's really, really nice. You're very responsible. Today, we're going to start with a warm-up activity. Just, to feel comfortable, to enjoy the class, and to not make it really boring. So this one right here, this puppet, it's called Mr. President. Mr. President is a very, very good friend of mine. So what are we going to do today? Mr. President is going to give you and what going to give us some commands. For example, he's going to say, now all of you have to touch your nose. So all of us have to touch our noses at the same time. Okay? So let's start. You just have to do exactly what Mr. President says. Okay? So, Mr. President, what are we going to do today? I don't know. I feel like I want you to jump. Jump. Very well. No, I want you to touch your ear. All of you, touch your ears, touch your ears. Okay, really well. Now, I would like to see all the students rub their eyes. Rub their eyes, rub your eyes. Students, rub your eyes. Very, very good. Rub your eyes. Now, take your tongues out. Very good. And at last, I would like you to say, I'm really happy to be at this class. Oh, that's really sweet, Mr. President. You are really, really sweet. So, all together, say it. We're really happy to be at this class. Very well, very well. You all did it very, very well. I'm so, so proud of you. So, say bye to Mr. President. Bye bye, Mr. President. Goodbye. Now, little detectives, we have a very important mission today. As you know, our planet is our home, and our home must be taken care of. Why? Because it is really, really important for us because we live in there. There are many animals, people, and all of them live together in the planet Earth. So if we don't take care of our planet, maybe we will not have more food. So that's why today I'm going to teach you something really, really important. I'm going to teach you how to clean your plant. But first of all, we need to know how to identify the types of trash that are out there. So for that, I have here this magic device. This here is the litter box. So what are we going to do with the litter box? As you can see, it has many beautiful drawings. Look at them. They are really, really pretty. So with this little box, we are going to take out from the inside of it some different types of things or stuff that can be considered trash. And we're gonna identify what things it is, each of them. So for example, we're gonna start. So now we have the litter box right here. I'm going to take out every stuff, everything I can find inside it. And all of you are gonna say out loud with me, what type of trash or litter is it? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna take from the inside is, okay, can you name what is this? What is this, class? Well, this seems like a very, very old and broken stuffed animal. See? It is broken, it's really dirty, it's in a very, very bad state. So sometimes, though it's really, really sad, some stuffed animals, some toys can get broken and then they are thrown away for for their owners and they end up like trash. So this is the first object. We're gonna put it right here. Now let's see what else we have. Mm, oh, let's see. What is this? Well, this seems like an empty fast food cup. Maybe someone in the past bought a hamburger and the hamburger was inside this empty cup. And then when they finish eating the hamburger, they throw it away. We're gonna put it right here. Oh, I have a question for all of you. What material is this cup made of? Can you guess? Is this perhaps plastic? Is this perhaps wooden? Or maybe it is paper? What is it? It's plastic. All right. Yeah, you're all right. This is plastic. Let's see what else we have. Oh, let's see. Oh, it's empty. This is an empty chocolate wrapper. Can you guess what is it made of? Is this plastic? Is this wooden? Or is this paper? Or maybe it is cardboard? Yes, you're right. It is cardboard. This chocolate wrapper is made of cardboard. We're gonna put it right here. Let's see what else we have. Oh, well, this is really nasty. It's gross. And it doesn't smell very good. Can you guess what is this? Yes, you're right. This is an eggshell. We're gonna put it inside the empty cup. What else do we have right here? Oh, let's see. It's really, really big. What is this, class? Aaron, can you tell me what is this? Yeah, of course. This is a plastic bottle, an empty plastic bottle. Very, very big though. What else do we have here? Oh, look at this. Look at this. What is this made of? What is the material they use to create this? Can you guess? Do you know what is it? Yes, it's paper. It's paper. It's a paper graph. An old paper graph. We're gonna put it right here. And then we have two more things. Less things actually. Oh, what is this, class? Can you guess what is this object? Yes, of course. It is a cardboard tube. This cardboard tube was made inside a paper toilet before it, well, was finished. We're gonna put it right here. And at last, what is the last object? Can you guess? Oh, can you hear it? Can you hear how it sounds? What is this? What is this, class? Yes, of course, Asha. This is a plastic bag. We can find so many of them outside, on the ground, in the beaches, also in the ocean. And it's very, very dangerous. They are very, very bad for the animals, like turtles. Many, many turtles along the years eat these kind of bags. And because of that, they die or they get really, really sick. And that is so sad. And that is why we must protect our planet, taking all of this kind of trash and throwing them away. That's how we can avoid our planet to get sick. Okay, students. So now we're gonna change a little bit the topic. We're gonna still talk about the unit three, about what is litter, but now we must answer a very, very essential question. Why should we be concerned about litter? So we're gonna see. First of all, do you know what is litter? No? Well, litter is garbage thrown on the ground. Thrown by who? People, of course. People sometimes don't really understand how important it is to protect our planet. They don't understand how important it is to protect the plants and the animals. So sometimes when they cannot find a bin or a garbage can quickly, they get desperate and they just throw away anything they have on their hands. For example, things like plastic bag, like the one we saw before, like plastic bottles, like paper wrap, like the chocolate wrapping, things like that are usually garbage thrown on the ground by people. And that is litter. The amount of garbage thrown on the ground, it's called litter. And not only on the ground, there can also be in the air, in the water, like rivers, like oceans, like beaches. So that is why it is really, really important to teach people that our planet is really, really important and that we must take care of it. We must collect, we must try to pick up all of those things. All that garbage must be thrown away in a garbage can. So let's see some specific types of litter that we can find outside. For example, here we have a wrapping, like the one we saw before, the chocolate wrapping. Let's repeat after me, please. Wrapping, wrapping. Okay, very good. You did it very, very well. The next one is an empty container. Can you see it like the one I told you before, the one that had a hamburger? This one maybe also had a hamburger, maybe it had a sandwich. But the thing is that it doesn't matter what kind of food it had on the inside. It was thrown away as trash. So let's repeat after me. Empty containers. This is an empty container. The next one is whole food. For example, this banana. We can find, for example, apples, watermelons, even bread, even pizza, a whole pizza in very, very bad state. All food can also be litter. So let's repeat. All food. All food. The next one, the next word in our vocabulary is garbage. So as I told you before, garbage is basically what? Garbage is all the things that people thrown away on the ground. But we usually use garbage for certain types of things, like for example, the ones that come from the nature. That's a really good example. Like what? Like the old food, like bananas, like watermelon, like apples, maybe like dust, maybe like for example, mud, maybe also I don't know, like leaves. Leaves when the leaves fall in fall they can become litter. They can become garbage. Also, we have the word litter. Litter. That is basically the amount of all the garbage and all those things thrown on the ground. We also have the word paper. Paper. Also, paper can be a certain type of litter. As we saw before, for example, there was a paper wrapping inside the litter box. We also have the word plastic. Plastic. Plastic is not one single thing. Plastic can be many, many things. For example, here we have a plastic bottle. We can have plastic containers. We can have even a toy. Toys are made from plastic. So there are many types of litter that are made of plastic. Also, we have the word trash. The trash is basically all the things that we throw away inside a plastic bag, a black plastic bag usually, and we put it on the garbage can. That is trash. Let's repeat after me, trash. So the next words we have right here are, for example, water. This time, water is not garbage, it's not litter, it's not garbage, it's just water. Why do we have the word water here? It is really, really important because even though we're talking about pollution, about litter, many times water is involved, or let's say in another way, it is affected by the litter. For example, we can find litter in the oceans, litter in the rivers, even in a pool, in a public pool, in a private pool. Sometimes people throw their garbage, throw away their things, like for example, the food, and the water gets dirty and contaminated. That is why we have the word water right here. Also, we have the action throw. That is basically the main action, the protagonist right here, because this action is the one that causes all the litter, all the garbage, all the waste we find outside. When people throw away their things, their old things, ugly things, broken things. So the next word right here is ugly. Ugly. Why? Because garbage is ugly. Pollution is really, really ugly. It causes so much damage. It causes, for example, bad smells. It causes like dirt. It causes that, for example, when you go to a place and you want to take beautiful, beautiful pictures, you cannot do it because it is full of waste, it is full of litter, so it looks ugly and it affects the environment, it affects the view. So that's why we have this word here, because pollution is ugly, litter is ugly. We have the word ground. Let's repeat after me. Ground, ground. But basically, the ground is the victim right here because all people throw away their litter on the ground. So the poor ground is the victim on this topic. Then we have the word waste. What is waste? Do you know what is waste? Well, waste is, for example, when you have a whole pizza. Let's imagine a pizza. You have a very, very big pizza. The pizza is made of 10 pieces. The pizza has 10 pieces, and you ate 7 of them. You just ate 7 of them. And then the next day, you left the other 3. What happened with all those 3 pieces? They are thrown away. They will be thrown away. So they become waste. Basically, those 3 pieces of pizza are the waste of the whole pizza you previously ate, you previously bought. So that is waste, something that maybe it's like a leftover. It's left over something we had before. The next word is dirty. Dirty, because as I said before, that pollution, that litter makes everything look dirty. Our hands can get dirty, our houses can get dirty, our cars can get dirty, the beaches can get dirty. Everything that has pollution or litter or trash on it looks dirty or it's dirty. So what can we do about the dirt? Exactly, we can clean. We can clean all that dirt. We can clean in order to make it look better, in order to make it look tidy, beautiful, shiny. So let's repeat after me. Clean, clean. Okay, that's great. And our last word is trash can. So what is trash can? Trash can is basically this thing, this big plastic thing, usually in a square form, that we use to put our trash or litter, our garbage inside it. It is really, really important to have a trash can in our houses. Why? Because if we don't have trash cans in our houses, we are going to end up throwing that waste outside on the ground, on the water, and the planet is gonna get dirty and ugly. That is why it's really, really important to have a trash can on our houses. Okay, students, now that we have finished watching and learning some new vocabulary through the kind of presentation, we're gonna answer some questions related to the topic that we have already studied. So the first question is, who leaves litter on the ground? We already said it before. So just think about it, maybe think about it. Maybe you, Aaron, will you tell me who leaves litter on the ground? People, exactly. People leave the litter on the ground. So what would be the complete answer to that question? The people leave litter on the ground. Exactly. So we're gonna write it. Very good. So the answer is people leave litter on the ground. And the next question is, why is litter bad? Why is litter bad? We were talking about it like some minutes ago. So can you tell me why it's bad that we leave litter on the ground? Maybe Sasha, can you tell me? Of course, because as we said before, if we leave litter on the ground, the planet looks ugly, looks dirty, and also some species, like animals, can get sick. So, why is litter bad? Because the planet will look ugly and dirty. It is bad because the planet looks dirty and ugly. Okay, good job. So the third question is, which kind of litter takes longer to decompose? Can you guess, if you think about it, which kind of litter of all the ones we previously talked about can take longer, more years to decompose? Maybe, I know. Can you please raise your hands if you want to volunteer to answer the question? Mm, Alexander, right? Can you tell me which kind of litter takes longer to decompose? Plastic. That's right, Alexander. Great job. The plastic takes longer to decompose. It takes like over 100 years or even more, 1,000 years to decompose. That is why it is really important to avoid throwing plastic uh, waste on the ground, on the sea, on the beaches, or whatever. So the plastic takes longer to decompose. And those are the three answers to these three different questions. Great job, guys. You did very, very well. Cognates. What are the cognates? Do you know what they are? Well, cognates are basically words that in two or more languages sound really similar. And sometimes they can mean exactly the same in both languages. For example, we have the word plastic that in English is really similar to the word plástico in Spanish, and they both mean exactly the same. Also, we have the word, um, for example, elephant. Elephant in English is a very huge animal that lives in Africa. And in Spanish, an elefante is exactly the same, and they both sound very, very similar. So I'm going to show you some different pictures. Here I have many pictures that represent a different item. They have their names written. All these, okay, can you look at them? We have trash. We have also the word elephant. Also, we have the word plastic. And we have the word paper. Paper sounds really, really similar to the word papel in Spanish, and they mean the same. We have brown and trash again. In English, In addition to the cognates, we can have more different types of words. There are words that, for example, can be formed through the union of two different words, or if we take out a part, like a syllable from a word, and we change it for another. So if we do that, we can form a whole different word that means something completely different. For example, here we have the word brown. I already showed you brown. I'm gonna write it on the board. Brown. What is round? Round is basically where we step in, where we walk. Okay? So, what happens, for example, if I erase the letter G from round, if I erase it, and I don't know, maybe I put the syllable, the vocal, sorry, I made a mistake, the vocal A right here. The word turns into around. And what does around mean? Around. Like, for example, I can use it if I say, I am going to walk around this room, around the room. This market moves around. So, as you saw, from a whole different word, we form another completely different. Also, we can do the same with words like trash. So we're going to try it with trash. We have here the word trash. We already know that trash means basically all the waste we throw away inside a plastic bag to put it inside a trash can. So this is trash. But what happens if I erase the letter T? Well, in this case, I'm not going to erase it for you to notice what I'm going to do. But what happens if I still write the rest? Trash. I erase the T, and then I change it for the letter C. The word trash turns into crash, a whole different word. What does crash mean? Crash is basically like this. Crash. Like for example, when we say like, oh, there was a really, really horrible car accident near my house where both cars crashed, and there were many, many victims on it. That's very sad. So that's a good example of what is crash. So as we saw, in English, we have the opportunity to create new words from others that already exist. So we have learned today two different types of words. We have the cognates, that are words that in two or more languages can sound similar and mean the same thing, and the words that we can form by changing a letter or a syllable from another and replacing it for other completely different. Right now, we're gonna go through a worksheet. This worksheet has on it all the information that we have already studied on this class. I know it's difficult to see it, and I'm gonna give to each one of you one copy of the worksheet, and you'll have like 50 minutes to complete it. If you want, you can work in pairs. If you don't, then you can work alone. And when we finish, we're gonna check all your answers, okay? So first, I'm gonna read all the instructions. It says that this worksheet is from the Escuela El Progreso, the English course of the 6th grade. This is Unit 3, Environmentally Speaking, the worksheet number 1, Reading Comprehension and Vocabulary Practice. So the first thing you're going to do is write your names. Here it says student's name. So next to that part, you're going to write your full name. Then we're going to write the date. Then has my name on it, we have the goal of the worksheet that says understand short instructions illustrated through step-by-step visuals. And the indicator says identify short instructions illustrated through step-by-step visuals about types of litter and waste. So here we're going to focus on all the topics related to the litter and waste. The general instruction says read the following text carefully, use skimming to find the main idea of the story, and use scanning to locate the specific words needed to answer the questions. Work individually and complete all sections. This is up to you. If you want to do it individually because you feel like more comfortable, then you can do it like that. If you don't, you can work in pairs. Okay. So the important here is that we have the opportunity to learn new things together. So if you can help a classmate to understand something better, you can do it. So the section 1 is read comprehensive. The instruction says read the text below about a local school environment. So you have a reading in section 1. You have a reading. You are going to have to read everything. And as it says right here, scan in the text in section 1 to find the specific answers. Write short, clear answers in English on the lines provided. So right here you have 3 different questions based on that reading. And you're going to answer all 3 questions in English, obviously, based on that reading you already made. Then, in section 3, we have visual matching, vocabulary associated. The instruction says, draw a straight line to connect each illustrated icon description on the left with its correct vocabulary word on the right. So, as you can see right here, here we have the icons, all the images, and we have some vocabulary that we already studied. For example, the first one is wrapping. Can you remember what is wrapping? Wrapping is basically the thing that we use to protect different kinds of food, like chocolate. Also, wrapping can be the paper that we use to wrap presents. So what you have to do is draw a line that goes from the word wrapping to the image that represents it. Next, we have the student self-assessment. So right here, you're going to read these statements below, mark with an X the place that best represents your progress and honestly regarding today's reading activity. So basically, what we have right here are 3 different indicators or objectives. We have a happy face that says yes. We have a face that is like serious that says in progress. And we have a sad face that says no. So we're going to read all the objectives individually. For example, the first one says use scanning to find the answers inside the paragraph. And if you consider honestly that you did that part, you developed those skills in a proper way that was easy to you, then you're going to write a check on the happy face. Below the happy face that says yes. If you think that you did it like regularly, you're gonna put it right here. And if you think you did it terribly or it was difficult to you, we're gonna write the check right here. Okay. So let's start. I'm gonna give you around 15 minutes, and before we start, I'm gonna read a motivational phrase for you that has the copy on it. Now that we have already finished and the 15 minutes are over, we're going to check together the worksheet number 1. Okay.
So now, as you can see, the first thing that we need to fill up was the name. In this case, this is Alexander Hamilton's worksheet. Then the date that he wrote. Today is Wednesday, 5th, 2026. And that's section number 1. Says, read the text below about a local school environment. And the whole text says, the mission of El Progreso School. El Progreso School is a beautiful place, but sometimes there is a big problem with waste. Every Monday, the principal, the teacher, and the students work together to clean the ground because people throw a lot of garbage during the weekend. To fix this, they created a special environment campaign. First, the Green Committee gives short instructions to the classrooms. Then, the students start their job. They collect all the empty containers, like plastic bottles and soda cans, from the green areas. After that, they look on the ground to pick up paper wrappings from cookies and all food waste left near the cafeteria. Finally, they put all the garbage in the recycling bins. Thanks to this team, the school looks clean and beautiful every week. So, as you can see, Alexander marked below some sentences because he considered that they were important to answer the following questions. Section number 2 says, scan the text in section 1 to find the specific answer. Write short, clear answers in English on the lines provided. So that section number 2 is basically based on the 3 answers of the 3 questions based on the previous text. So I'm gonna read the questions and the answers that Alexander wrote. Who are the people in charge of cleaning the ground at El Progreso School? The people in charge of cleaning the ground are the principal, the teacher, and the students. Question number 2. What specific empty containers do students need to collect from the green areas? The answer says they need to collect plastic bottles and soda cans from the green areas. Question number 3 says, what types of waste do students pick up near the cafeteria area? They pick up paper wrappings from cookies and all food waste left near the cafeteria. Then, section 3, it's a visual matching that says, draw a straight line to collect each illustrated icon description on the left with its correct vocabulary word on the right. So, as we can see, on the left we have all the icons and on the right we have the vocabulary. So, as we can see, Alexander connected wrapping with this icon, then the word ground with this one, empty containers with this can, food waste is the apple leftover, plastic is a bunch of plastic products like spoons, forks, bottles, and a plastic bag. Then the word paper, he connected it to some paper sheets, some color paper sheets, and trash is connected to a trash can. Finally, we have the last page. Finally, we have the section 4, that is a student self-assessment. The instruction says, read the statements below, mark with an X the phase that best represents your progress and honesty regarding today's reading activity. In this case, it doesn't matter if it is an X or a check. The important thing here is just to mark what you think that represents your progress and your skill development. So the first one says, I can use scanning to find the answers inside the paragraph. Alexander marked yes. It was really easy to him. Then, I can identify the correct technical words for different types of waste. Alexander also marked yes. And at last, I can understand the reading text without translating word for word. So it seems Alexander didn't have to translate anything. He just read it and he understood. So he marked yes. And finally, we have our motivational phrase.
Okay, students, now we have our last activity. Now that we have already finished the worksheet, we are going to start the activity, or the closure activity of the mystery magic bag. So, what we're going to do is that I have here this paper bag, and inside of it, there are some questions, some papers with different questions. I'm gonna go space from space to all of you. You're gonna take out one question, one paper. You're gonna read it out loud, and then you're gonna give an answer to that question, a personal answer. So the idea here is that all of you have the opportunity to share with the class your own opinion and the knowledge that you have already acquired throughout the class. So first of all, I'm gonna start with Alexander. Can you please take out one paper? Just one, right? Okay. Can you give it to me? Thank you. So I'm gonna read the paper for you. Why is litter bad for the planet? This is Alexander's questions. Why is litter bad for the planet? So, why is litter bad for the planet, Alexander? Can you tell us? Okay, that's a nice question. Litter is bad for the planet, Alexander says, because it makes the planet look ugly, dirty, and it kills many, many animals around the world. So that's a very, very good answer, Alexander. Thank you so much. I'm gonna bring it back to John. John, can you please take out one paper? Okay, that one. Great. Can you give it to me? Thank you. So this is John's paper. Let's unfold it to read it. John's question says, what is litter? What is litter? So, John, can you please tell us what is litter? What do you consider that is litter? Okay, so litter is waste that people leave on the ground. Okay, that's an excellent question, John, and it's great. It's great, and actually it is correct. Litter is basically waste that we leave on the ground, on the sea, on the oceans, on the rivers, on the beaches. It's basically waste that we leave all around the world. So that's really nice. Congratulations, John. Now I'm gonna ask Sasha to take out one paper, please. Can you please take one paper out? Yes, that one. Okay, give it to me. Thank you. Okay, so this is Sasha's paper. The question says, what can you do about litter? What can you do about litter, Sasha? What can we do about litter if we don't want it? Okay, Sasha says that what we can do about litter is to pick it up and put it on the trash can. That was great, Sasha. Very, very, very good job. Now we have some more questions, like four more questions. Maybe Erin. Erin, can you please take one question out, please? Take that one. Give it to me. Thank you. So Erin's question says, where can you find litter? Where can you find litter? So, Erin, where do you think that we can find litter? On the ground, exactly. We can find litter on the beaches, in the ocean, and in the trash can. Yeah, exactly, Erin, that's right. Also, in school, we can find litter in school and even in our houses if we are not really, you know, tidy people, clean people. We're gonna have so much litter on our houses and in school. So we have some more questions. Who else wants to participate? You, okay? Can you please take out one paper? Okay, choose one. Give it to me, please. Thank you. So the question says, what is an example of an empty container? What is an example of an empty container? So class, can you tell me what is an example of an empty container? A plastic bottle example, exactly, sorry. Plastic bottle, cans, empty cans, that's right. A box, yeah, that's right. Even a box can be an empty container because maybe inside the box there used to be some things like, for example, I don't know, food, clothes. What else? Do you know what else can be an empty container? A perfume bottle. Yeah, that's right. That's a new one, but that is right. An empty perfume bottle can be an empty container. Great job, class. Now we have two, no, yeah, two more questions. I'm gonna answer these last ones. So we're going to take them out of the bag. It says, who lives litter on the ground? Who lives litter on the ground? Class, can you please answer that question to me? Okay, exactly. People live litter on the ground. We are the responsibles for the litter, for the trash, for the pollution. People are basically the culprits of throwing litter on the ground. That's right. And the last question is, You're gonna take out paper. Okay. Which types of letter exist? Okay, so class, can you tell me please which types of letter exist in the word? Okay, Alexander. Plastic, yeah, plastic can be a type of letter. Old clothes, exactly. Um, Food leftovers, yeah, old food, food in backstage. Broken toys, exactly, Sasha. Broken toys can be also later. What else? Hmm, leaves. Oh, okay, that's an interesting answer. And yeah, also leaves. The leaves that fall from the trees when, for example, it is autumn. If we have so many leaves, they can be trash, they can be litter. Okay, all your answers were really great, class. So thank you to all of you for participating. I'm so proud of you, and I'm happy to see that all of you understood the topic and enjoyed the class. So I hope that all of you have a great day, and from now on, all the learning, all the knowledge, all the discoveries that we're going to do are up to you. So I wish you good luck, and I hope that all of you will become great people one day. So bye bye, and have a nice day.